welcome to 18 TV. On this lovely morning, I'm just going to be going through questions that have been recently asked and opening all our field-to-field gates. Right, why am I opening all our field gates? I'm opening all our field-to-field gates, so our in-house gates, because when we come to fertiliser, roll, harrow in the next few weeks, we can just simply go field-to-field. So it's a bit of a time save. Instead of everyone getting in and out all the time, we can literally just fold up field-to-field and just go for it. So just a bit of a time saver. Roadside gates, obviously most of them will stay shut, and we'll just open those when we go into different blocks of ground, because for harvest we have pretty much all the farm blocked up to which block we cut and then go to first, and then each time we go through the cycle of a cut to dry to bale, and there's another block getting cut, so we stay within a cycle all the time. So this is just filling in all that. Some of the questions that started coming through, how big an area do we farm? We farm 800 acres in South Devon. To give you an idea of where we're farming, we are at the foot of Dartmoor in Devon. There you can see one of our other farms, and also to this point here we're at the top of a valley, so we catch weather conditions from two different angles. Any clouds coming over the top of the moor, usually summertime, will just drop some rain on us. Even if we're in a bit of a drought, we'll get like a few spots for 20 minutes, half an hour, which is kind of enough just to keep grass from burning. Also, being within a valley, when storms come up through the valley, the first thing they hit is us, because we're sort of the land that faces straight down. As you saw a second ago, more gates that we've been opening. This is one of our ryegrass stands. It's looking in real good nick at the moment. I didn't talk on camera at the time because it was windy as hell and no one would have heard me, so I've done it this way instead. It's, I know, 3-4 weeks ahead of where it should be. It's looking really good. There's a little bit of rust on it, but that will grow off as we go into spring. So if you can see where I'm stood, there's a gate down the bottom there, which is where we've just come up through. That gate's been taken off. The gate down by the logs has been taken off. Yeah, there's logs everywhere down there, some bale stacks. Then we've come forward through this block of ground, down through where the trees are, undone all the gates up through there, come back up through the other side of this hedge, and just taken that gate off there. As you see, there's our third farm. You saw the second farm a minute ago, which I was talking over the video, door camera shot. And there's beloved Dartmoor, with that lovely grey thing above it as usual. This here is one of our meadow mixed fields that we call them. Yes, it's not a meadow, it's just a permanent pasture, and it's full of fescues, a bit of wild timothy's grown into it. Where it's come from we don't know because we never planted it. Some perennial ryegrasses and all sorts of old grasses that have come back through. Not looking too bad. Again, from the ryegrass which I saw a minute ago, this isn't quite as long, but it's getting there pretty quick. This mild we've had is done everything a world of good down here. Unfortunately for you guys up north who have had snow and can be held back a bit, we haven't quite had that. We've had it quite warm and mild, so everything's pretty green. It's not looking too bad. This field was done early, could do with a bit of feed and fertiliser now, but other than that, it's pretty good nick. So as I said, this is trying to give you all a bit of an idea of where we're farming. This is the highest point of our farm on one of our big bale stacks. This is the farm from the other angle that you saw a minute ago, which is our third farm. If you look in the distance now, our other farm is down there. Again, you saw footage a second ago. This is all just basically giving you an idea of our scenery, so you can sort of have a picture in your mind when you're sort of watching and when I explain places of where we are. Over there in the distance, as in a second I'm about to zoom across, where you can certainly see sheep appear. That is another block of ground that we got which goes up through the next valley over. Here are those sheep. This area, which I can't leave the gates open at the moment, we lease out on sheep keep or sheep winter keep, which, God, it's all wet here. Just so you can see what I mean by wet here, literally just driven through this, and if you can see here, we've got standing water still. We've had a massive, another rain shower, and we keep getting hail at the moment. So this area we have grazed down tight, as you can see, nowhere near as long as the other areas. Because we cut the 800 acres and we cut in 100 acre blocks, because we've obviously got to dry it all down and go through a cycle of cutting, drying, usually 3 or 4 days we leave it on the floor to get it dry enough before we bale it. Usually we'll start cutting on the second day of the first lot drying, and if we can stay in that cycle we'll go with it. If the weather's going to turn on us, we stop cutting and then pick up what we've got down and get that in, and then we'll go through it again. So harvest can be quick if we can go into the cycle of cutting 100 acres every 2 days. If you have a wet summer, it obviously takes us a lot longer. But the secret of two blocks of ground that we cut is we have it grazed down really tight with sheep. So these blocks are the later blocks, so we don't have all 800 acres ready at the same time. And also, as I said the other day about having problems with some old water meadows, these, or this, is what I mean by water meadows. It undulates everywhere, so there's little lifts and dips all over the field. As you can see here, drops into a stream. When we've got loads of rain, the water's above ground. There is a drain under the ground, but with the amount of water we're having at the moment, it's just totally saturated. Like, everything is saturated. Like, blue skies now. 10 minutes ago, it was absolutely hooping it down with water. And just, if I get here, just the speed that little stream there is running is sort of showing how much water we're having. And under the ground, we've got a 25-inch pipe, this valley, and this valley sort of extends right up. In this little block here, including there's some fields we rent as well. That's about 100 acres in this whole setup here. And all that water is also feeding down off our neighbours, which is above that. We obviously don't cut that. That's like dead man's alley if we took the mowers up through there. We would try if we could, but with all those animal ruts, it just wouldn't work. So yeah, that's what we're roughly doing. So to the questions asked, we're roughly cutting 800 acres. We try to do that 3 times. Some areas don't get done depending on how early we can start and how late we go on to. We have 3 farms spread out in 3 different areas. Each farm is no more than about a mile and a half tops from each other, so everything's quite condensed. We aren't having to travel miles out to other places to bring stuff in. The furthest few fields that we lease are probably 2 miles away, which keeps fuel costs down, like way down. Just trying to think of other questions. A big thank you for a shout out from Castro. Thank you very much, mate. That is awesome. Muchly appreciated. As well as cutting 3 times, we raise and grow our own beef and sell that privately on a sort of network we started. We used to have sheep. We may get sheep again. Time will tell on that. The sheep that we have in at the moment is obviously not ours. We just are selling off our winter grass in certain areas, as you saw earlier on in the vid. Obviously our rye grasses are up, way up at the moment from where they should be because of the mild weather. Fertilising will happen soon. I'll explain how much fertiliser we put on and why at the time. We run primarily New Hollands and JCBs. We also have a Merlot, that's the tractor side. Future thing coming up very soon, hopefully we'll do a machinery tour and tractor tour and go through a bit of that, why, reasons. Had questions on the baling plant. Yes, we do rebale everything, all big bales and small bales. That, as it's all pretty much one of a kind, will be in a probably 3 or 4 part series at some point, but I'm not going to release that until we're somewhere up like 5,000 subs. So if any of you really want to see that, you're welcome to share the channel, and I will upload those. Someone asked where all the lads come from. Quite a few of them that stack all work part-time, and for the last 12 years of my life I've coached rugby, so a lot of the boys I've met through that. So any of you ever looking for labourers or staff members, look at young rugby players, because there isn't much that they don't want to do, and they'll lift all day. They're strong, they're not quite as prima donna as a football player, and they're just through being coached, they're very good at taking instruction. So I would highly recommend young rugby players to help out. I'm sure there's some hard-working young football players, but you know, sometimes they're a little bit worried about the hair. On that, if you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe, ring that bell, give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Also remember, we are on Twitter as a Hey Team, Snapchat and Instagram, so you can find us on there too.